Okay, everybody, the time has come for me to tell you if the Nordost Qnet switch is something you should be buying. Do you want to know if this is worth the asking price of approximately $2,800? Stay tuned to find out. Welcome back, everybody. Please subscribe, hit that like button, hit that notification button so that you are informed each time I release a new video. You guys have been begging me to talk about this piece, this device that resembles a router. Basically, that's what it looks like to me, but Nordost calls it a network switch. As you guys know, the MSRP of this unit is $2,800. Okay, and it comes with the power supply that you are seeing on your screen right now. Now, this that you see here is the DC linear power supply that Nordost sells for you to power many of their devices, specifically the Qnet and the Qpoints that you are seeing on your screen right now. This can power up to 6 different Nordost devices. Okay, but I'm going to leave this aside and I am going to focus on the Qnet. It should be no secret by now that I am primarily dedicated to listening to digital streaming. That's what I do on my channel. It is no surprise to any of you guys, okay? My entire system, the system behind me, is 100% tuned for digital playback. And this is the first time in which I have decided to buy something that is supposed to help me with my digital experience. When I look at it, it weighs approximately 3-4 pounds, not very heavy, pretty well built, it's really plug and play, guys. I mean, there is absolutely nothing tricky here. It literally is just plugging in the adapter they give you, and you got 5 ports, as you can see right now, right? 5 different ports, right? Okay. Ports 1, 2, and 3 can handle up to 1 gigabyte per second. Ports 4 and 5 can handle up to 100 megabytes per second. And the reasoning behind that is that Nordost says that that is the speed in which noise floor reduction, or the mitigation of noise, is possible. They're saying that these two at 100 megabytes, that is the perfect environment that can be used to reduce the floor noise. All the interference, everything that's gunk or junk, however you want to call it, in digital playback. Now, I've been playing with this piece for approximately a month and a half or so. It's fully broken in, okay? It's got plenty of time. Do not worry about it. My findings will be with a fully broken in unit. And I started testing this device without the optional power supply. So I want to give you guys 2 reference points. 1 without the power supply, and 2 with both pieces combined. Okay? Let me get started. When I first plugged in the Qnet into the router, I definitely felt as if things became more real. First thing that stood out is the level of realism. Instruments began to take a different shape. I felt as if someone had removed the curtain in front of me, the curtain between me and the speakers. And I didn't think that was possible. But, you know, I left the room, came back maybe a few days later to evaluate what was happening. So my initial impression wasn't really, oh my God, wow. Okay, I'm going to be honest. But as time went on and the unit began to play for about 200-300 hours, I found that things began to open up. There was a lot more of the sound stage being massive now. It was expanding wall to wall, ceiling to floor. I found that the sonic imagery was far superior. There was much more articulation. It was absolutely incredible. But here is one thing I must say. I didn't realize it until I removed it from the system. So what I did was I got my ears tuned to listening with it for about 30 days. I removed it, went back to the regular router, and began to listen. And oh my God, there was a difference. I got to tell you guys, there was a marked inferior presentation after I removed this piece. This is one of those things that I have to be very vocal about. Okay, the importance of introducing one variable at a time, one component. I used absolutely no aftermarket Ethernet cables. I use standard Ethernet cables as what you're seeing right now on your screen. Regular Ethernet cables, and I have aftermarket Ethernet cables in the room, but I chose to stick to regular, cheap, high-speed, I believe Cat 8 Amazon Ethernet cables, and it was surprising because I still felt as if everything went backwards once I removed this unit from the system. But anyway, I can tell you that the improvements are astonishing. I didn't think that something this small can make that much of a difference. You have no idea how much more is hiding in your music until you try one of these. If you're a person who likes to stream a lot, Tidal, Spotify, Qobuz, or whatever else, you owe it to yourself to buy one of these things, okay? I believe it is definitely, at least in my system, and yes, I have to say this, it is a very pricey system. I don't think I can go on without this piece. I think I have to continue to utilize it because the improvement is there. I find that the brightness that at times I used to get from digital playback is very much suppressed by this piece. It mitigates this shrill, this glassy feeling that we get from streaming. This piece will make the listening experience much more human, okay? I believe that if you are currently suffering from a lot of brightness when you're streaming, if you're suffering from just fatigue, constant fatigue, and you have to locate specific songs that sound good in order to enjoy your system, you should try one of these. I think these things definitely enhance the experience to a whole new level. Good songs, bad recordings, you name it. I think this definitely suppresses everything that's bad about our digital environment. It lowers the floor noise. As I said, it will also kill the interference. It also expands the soundstage. As I mentioned earlier, it makes everything much more real sounding. And I'm repeating myself, I understand that. But this thing, I have to make sure I am very, very vocal about it. Now, I have given you guys what I think about this piece by itself, with stock Ethernet cables and the power supply it comes with, which is not this power supply, okay? It comes with a regular AC adapter. Now, when I introduced this piece, which is about $3,200, okay? This piece definitely made a difference, okay? I have to tell you, it made a difference. As I mentioned earlier, you can connect up to 6 devices here, and they're all, of course, Nordost devices, okay? And on the back, you can tell, if I am able to get a clear shot right now, as you can see right now on your screen, you can pretty much set the voltage for the devices that you're connecting, and it's a plug and play thing. Now, I will say this. when I first plugged it in, there was definitely an improvement. I am not going to lie. It made an improvement. If you're asking me, is it a $3,200 improvement? As it sits, I would say no. I do not think it is a $3,200 improvement. Until you buy an aftermarket power cord like what you see right now. In this case, I am using the transparent Opus Generation 5. When I plug that transparent power cord in here, guys, it was surreal. I just couldn't believe it. I mean, my jaw dropped. I'm trying to find the words to articulate what happened. It made the unit sound broken by itself. Okay? Once you hear this with an aftermarket power cord, it's impossible to hear this by itself. You can't anymore. What really takes place is very difficult to describe, but I'm going to take a shot at it. Number one, dynamics. One of the biggest things that I've noticed with this was dynamics. The dynamics are absolutely astonishing. I swear to you guys, it just slams hard. You wonder, how can this thing make this create more dynamics if the system is only really seeing the Ethernet cable that you're plugging into your DAC or music server? Guys, I have no way of explaining how Nordost does that. But I can tell you, with a power cord, an upgraded power cord, this is incredible, just insane. When I heard it with a stock power cord, I was not too impressed. But when I plugged that aftermarket power cord, guys, what happened to me, I wasn't even prepared. It was probably one of the most drastic positive changes I have ever made in my system. One of the biggest improvements I have ever heard through my system. This piece with an aftermarket power cord is phenomenal, mind-blowing, jaw-dropping. Just not easy to even accept what happens in front of you. Now, of course, part of what I do here is keeping it real. And one of the biggest disappointments, and I have to say this to Nordost, okay? I feel like for $3,200, Nordost should be able to at least include a power cord or something better than a stock power cord. Because when I plug this unit into the wall, yes, it made an improvement on this. Yes. With a stock power cord, yes. But guys, you have to buy an aftermarket power cord for this. You have to. If you do not have the money to buy an aftermarket power cord for this, I would say use this with the regular AC adapter, okay? And plug it into a power conditioner. In my opinion, that gave me amazing results too. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be vocal. When I use this with the stock AC adapter that it came with, and I plugged it into my power supply, my power conditioner that I am going to be talking about, the one that I'm going to be representing, this piece with a regular AC adapter plugged into my power conditioner beat this piece with a stock power cord plugged into the wall. You heard it. So I was ready to give up on this. I was like, I am not going to keep this because I am getting better results by plugging this into my power conditioner with the cheap AC adapter they include in the box. I don't need this. So I realized, you know what? No need for that. I paused for a moment, gathered my thoughts, and I thought, let me try an aftermarket power cord. And that is when this thing took everything to a whole new level. Things that you guys should be aware of. The entire system, including the cable that you're going to have to buy to plug in this into this, it's approximately $6,200 USD. 62, 63. But I am telling you right now, you're not done. You need to get an aftermarket power cord, and that is going to significantly increase the price. This system with the aftermarket power cord and the cable that connects both devices together, you're probably looking at $10,000 USD. Yep, probably looking at $10,000 USD. And it's really up to you guys to decide if your system is worthy of that kind of investment. Now, if you're asking me, Jay, should we buy this if our systems are not at the level of your system? I'm going to say it's a very difficult question to answer. Here's why. I have been very vocal about spending the money on your macros. Everything you see behind me are macros. Spend most of your money on your macros, the bigger components, the bigger pieces. To me, this becomes part of the end of the formula, the end of the equation, the end of the journey, if you will. This is fine-tuning. This is when you're enhancing a really well-built system. Now, that doesn't mean if you buy this, it's not going to improve your system. That's not what I'm saying. Just because your system is not expensive, it does not mean that this is not going to enhance it. It will enhance it. It will make it sound better. My problem comes from looking at the entire investment that you have made. So if you have a system, let's say that is approximately, I don't know, I'm going to throw a number out there. Let's say your system is $30,000 all in, everything. Should you be buying this for $6,200, $6,300? I would say no. I say get a better DAC, because if your system MSRP is for 30 grand, I'm assuming your DAC is not really at a very high level. I would say no. I would say buy a better DAC, because a better DAC will yield better results than buying this. Okay, so no, I wouldn't buy it. To me, this is amazing, but I believe this is really going to capitalize on those systems that are absolutely phenomenal. That I feel those systems that are very well put together, very well assembled, highly revealing systems that will really capitalize, that will capitalize on this investment. Again, remember, there are levels to this. If you're still here when it comes to electronics, and you know you could put a couple of $100 here and there to bring them up to a whole new level, I rather you guys work on your macros first. Okay, work on the bigger pieces first. Once you have achieved that and you feel you have a pretty good DAC, pretty good speakers, pretty good preamp, good amplification, good cables, and you're a person who streams, go ahead and go after this. You are not going to be disappointed. Make no mistake that once you put this in your system, the level of realism, what you thought digital playback couldn't do, will now hit you in the face, because you are going to hear things that you never thought were in the music. Again, those of you who have very highly resolving systems, you need to invest in something like this. To me, this is absolutely incredible. I could not do without these pieces. I have to make this part of my system for as long as I can. If I continue to stream, I see no reason why I should be getting rid of this. I just can't listen to my music anymore without it. The clarity, again, the realism is just next level. It's impossible to achieve it with anything else. Yes, guys, this hobby is crazy. Yes, guys, $6,200 on this is just insane. I get that. Some of you guys don't even have systems that are $6,000. But the truth is that price has nothing to do with this right now. It's about what this system is bringing to the table. And I think the more expensive, or I should say the more resolving your system is, in case some of you guys get mad, the more you're going to enhance your presentation by going with this. Streamers, you guys, you that are watching me right now, that love to push play on Rune and all those different digital and every other software out there, I am telling you, you have my approval. Buy this and never, ever look back. Okay? Well, guys, that's all I have for today. Thank you for your time, your love, your support. Subscribe, and I got something coming for you guys. I got a very special component coming soon. And it is the most expensive component of this particular use that I have ever had in the lab. You do not want to miss this. Thank you, and until next time, peace.